Today, James and Betty, we incarcerate people that we're mad at rather than people who are actually criminals. When Chuck went, as he would say, from the White House to the big house, there were 230,000 individuals in prison in America. Today, there are 2.3 million.
10-time multiplication.
The Pew Foundation would tell us there are 2.7 million children in America with an incarcerated parent. The UN says that the greatest threat to American children is actually incarceration in America. We've been asking the wrong question in America now for 40 years. We've been asking, how do we get bad people out of our neighborhood? When we ask that question, it predetermines our actions. We look at some people as if they're bad. We may actually look at some people from some socioeconomic situations and declare them bad. And then when they leave our neighborhoods, it's out of sight, out of mind. I would suggest that we need to ask a different question. And it's the question of the gospel. It's the question of the church. How do we bring good people home? How do we understand that of that 2.3 million people behind the bars in America, the cure for cancer could be there? Certainly the cure to what's happening in our urban cores is there, because we know that an individual who's been breaking the law in a neighborhood, if they come to Jesus and find redemption, they experience the Romans 8:28 story in their life. God takes all of those things and turns it to the good. When that man or woman goes home to that neighborhood and brings the message of the gospel instead of the message of drug abuse, change happens in their Jerusalem. Or in a prison, when we understand that every inmate in a prison in America is created in the image of God. We talk about human dignity. We talk about the sanctity of human life. Well, it doesn't stop at birth. And every individual behind the walls of America's prisons today is an individual Jesus died for. So what would happen if the 700,000 individuals that come back to our communities every year in America, 700,000 individuals from the prisons will come home and stand in the line at Walmart with us? What would happen if they came home knowing Jesus, knowing their purpose, having been trained in prison, and came home to change their neighborhoods, empowered by a church that was receiving them?